This is KGW News at 5.
And we begin here at 5 o'clock with breaking news. Portland officials announcing a new location for a safe rest village on the city's west side to help with our city's homeless crisis. This will be on Southwest Multnomah Boulevard at the location of the former Sears Army Reserve Center, or as many knew it, as the Sears site. The Safe Rest Village will have outdoor shelters, not tents, that supporters say will give houseless Portlanders a place to sleep and access services. Commissioner Dan Ryan expected to have 6 homeless villages up and running by the end of the year. So far, only 2 locations are in the earliest stages of construction. This location in Multnomah Village will be the 3rd. We go now to the pandemic, where COVID booster shot eligibility is expanding. Anyone over the age of 18 can now get a booster. Christine Pitawanich takes a look at availability and access to appointments.
People have told us they've tried to make an appointment to get their COVID-19 booster shot, and the stories have varied. Some people say they've been able to walk right into a pharmacy, get their booster right alongside their flu shot without an appointment, while others say it's nearly impossible to schedule an appointment. So we decided to see for ourselves. First, we went to the OHSU website and saw 2 available appointments on the 1st and 2nd of December. Minutes later, though, after going back to check, they were gone. Now onto the Walgreens website. We filled out the questionnaire and looked for locations in the Portland area to get a booster, but there were no available appointments. In the Salem area, the soonest available appointments were on Monday, December 6th, with some time slots. On the CVS website, there was no availability in the Portland area until December 6th at a few of the stores that popped up. But in the Salem area, much more availability starting December 1st. Just look at all these time slots. So availability seems somewhat dependent on situation and location, and that's something Oregon state health officials anticipated. Over the weekend, they announced the authorization of boosters for all Oregonians 18 and up.
I want to ask for your patience. While there are plenty of COVID-19 vaccine doses available to accommodate requests for booster vaccines, a booster appointment may not be immediately available, but it will be.
Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
Today, Oregon passed a grim COVID milestone. More than 5,000 people in the state have now died from the virus. Oregon Health Director Patrick Allen issued a statement mourning the deaths and also urging vigilance ahead of the holidays. He said, in part, these losses are especially painful because nearly all of our most recent deaths could have been prevented by COVID-19 vaccines, which remain the best protection against serious illness and death. Consider the family and friends in your life. Let's make sure the loved ones you care about and count on are there to share next Thanksgiving with you. We have new information now on a person found dead in the road in Portland on Saturday. Police say the man was killed in a hit and run. This was in the Powellhurst-Gilbert neighborhood. Officers found the victim just after midnight on Saturday morning. They have not identified him yet, and investigators have not released any details about the hit and run. Portland's graffiti problem has gotten worse during the pandemic, and now the people in charge of cleaning it up are asking for the public's help. There is only one office in the city that follows up on graffiti reports. It's called the Office of Community and Civic Life. They say they use their own staff along with contractors to paint over graffiti. But they say they really need business owners and the general public to report graffiti as soon as they see it, so this team can take care of it.
Since COVID began, we did see an increase. We saw more than, at its height, we saw work requests increase by more than 300%. We actually are back to our normal response rates, which is an average of 3 to 5 business days, which is different from the year before, which was 3 weeks.
You can report graffiti right on the city's website. That's portland.gov. The Oregon Supreme Court has dismissed 2 challenges to the state's new legislative maps. The state legislature approved them back in September. Oregon Republicans, though, filed lawsuits over the process, accusing Democrats of gerrymandering and manipulating political boundaries to gain an advantage. In its ruling, though, the Oregon Supreme Court said the GOP failed to show that the new districts violated state law. The maps establish 90 legislative districts throughout Oregon. Washington's new Secretary of State is officially on the job today. Steve Hobbs was sworn into office this morning. He will replace former Secretary of State Kim Wyman. Wyman, a Republican, is heading to the Biden administration to oversee national election security. In the meantime, Hobbs becomes the first Democrat to be Secretary of State in Washington since 1965 and the first Asian American to ever hold the job. The first openly transgender mayor in the United States has died. Stu Rasmussen was a lifelong resident of Silverton, Oregon, and was elected mayor in 2008. He had also served 2 terms as mayor back in the 90s before coming out as transgender. Kyle Palmer, Silverton's current mayor, posted about Rasmussen after his death, saying in part that he set an example for members of our community who needed to see that it was safe to live their lives openly in our community. Rasmussen had battled cancer for more than a year. He was 73 years old. Turning now to the holiday travel rush. Tonight on NBC Nightly News, we are getting a behind-the-scenes look at one of the busiest airports in the country. Here's Tom Costello.
Good afternoon. That is the radio traffic here at O'Hare Airport. Air traffic control and United Airlines ramp tower making sure that they are coordinating every single flight that is right now on the ground around United's concourses. 500 flights a day just controlled from this ramp tower. They have a very busy time right now as they are in the thick of the holiday travel season. Nationwide, we're watching weather on the East Coast. And as you know, the airlines are all trying to make sure that they can handle the biggest holiday passenger volume in 2 years. Coming up on NBC Nightly News, we're going inside United's operations here in Chicago as the holiday season is very much upon us.
And you can watch all of that coverage starting at 5:30 tonight right here on KGW. Volunteers with Meals on Wheels are prepping holiday food for homebound senior citizens. The nonprofit delivers thousands of meals each week. Bryant Clerkley joining us live from the newsroom with more on how many seniors will get a meal, Bryant.
Hey, Ashley, right now volunteers are in the midst of serving 7,000 people Thanksgiving meals, and the CEO says the holidays can be a time when many homebound seniors feel isolated and alone, so this is also a way to keep them connected. Volunteers are cooking turkey, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, pies, and other Thanksgiving favorites, and crews will drop the food off at clients' homes through Wednesday, and the organization delivers 20,000 meals a week, but the focus around the holidays is not just about the food.
So we have a friendly chat program happening, and volunteers and staff are making thousands of calls every day to make sure we're talking to people and keep them connected, and they have somebody in their lives to talk to.
And this meal is no small operation. There's about 130 staff members and thousands of volunteers. Anyone who's 60 and older qualifies for Meals on Wheels, regardless of income. And if you know someone who wants to enroll in Meals on Wheels, they can apply on their website, and it only takes about a day to get someone registered. And the organization is also in need of volunteers, and we'll post a link on our website, kgw.com, if you're interested. Ashley, back to you.
All right, Brian, thanks for that info.